Hi Virgo, welcome back to those of you who are already part of our community. Welcome to those of you who are new. My name is Jackie and I post weekly messages for each of the astrological archetypes. I mix up tarot with astrology, numerology, and psychology. Whatever I'm called to do in the moment. I always recommend you check out your rising sign first, then sun, then moon sign, then your Venus placement, if you have time to check that out. If you don't know your time, your house placements, but you know what time you were born, you can take that time, go on any of the free birth chart calculators that are online and find out your house placements. You do have to know the exact time of birth though. And I recommend that for the most holistic and complete understanding of your energies. So just remember, these are general messages for the astrological archetype of Virgo, right? This is not a personal reading. I'd have to know your personal birth placements to understand how the current transits are communicating with your individual energies right now. That being said, take what resonates, throw out the rest. Don't try to make it fit if it's not your reading. It's all good. So Virgo, I feel like lots of healing for you right now. My friends, I really do. I just really feel like that. Right now, what's going on this week? So the two stars of the week, I guess we could say on the 27th, Mercury enters Leo in your 12th house. And we have Jupiter still retrograde popping back in to hang out with Saturn and Aquarius in that 6th house. So 6th house is your home. It's mental, physical, emotional health. It's your day-to-day work experience. We still have Pluto and Capricorn in that 5th house. We still have Chiron retrograde in Aries in the 8th house for you. Lots of healing. What does all of this mean? So let me just sort of say in a nutshell what I'm vibing here. Lots of beneath the surface healing, beneath the surface frustration going on. For a lot of you, it could have to do with your work situation. Some of you can be dealing with the work situation being frustrating and some sort of health situation as well. But I want to just say something. Wherever Jupiter is right now, wherever Jupiter retrograde is hanging out this year, right? And it's primarily hanging out with Saturn in your 6th house. And we've been talking about this for a long time. The changes that are going to be going on now, between now and December 28th specifically, right? Between now and the end of the year are really going to be designing the next 12 years of your life, right? Because this transit only happens once every 12 years and it's meant to reposition us in a way. So because of this placement in the 6th house and because right now we have the Sun, we have Mars, and we have Mercury now, right? As of the 27th, all in Leo, all in the 12th house of endings, closure, healing, solitude, dealing with karma, looking at limiting beliefs, really dealing with the subconscious mind. Those of you who are doing shadow work and are in therapy, congratulations, because honestly, you can't get much better energy than this to do some really good healing work. A lot of you guys, especially, really honestly, like even because you have Pluto and Capricorn in the 5th house. What is the 5th house? Yes, it's romance, it's love affairs, it's children, yada, yada, but it's your self-expression. And it's how you express yourself in romance and love, having to do with your children. And with Pluto in there, there can be this desire to control situations, less because of love and care, but more because of feeling like something can be detrimental to you, that you feeling that you could be hurt in some way, right? So this is really a call right now to get in touch with your limiting beliefs, your deepest fears, right? Your deepest fears. And this might not be an easy energy to navigate inside of you. Like your job might be okay. Things might even be okay having to do with your kids and relationships and your friends outside, right? But internally, there's a lot of work going on here. And this energy that I'm talking about, this Pluto in the 5th house for you, is squaring beautiful healing Chiron retrograde in Aries in your 8th house that has to do with intimacy and sharing, right? So the way this can manifest for some of you, if you have kids as a result of a marriage, there might be some sort of like unresolved issues regarding like the parental responsibilities of your children, having something to do with some sort of issue that went on with an ex or going on with a partner, right? It could be the triangle could kind of show up like that. Or this could have you looking at past investments that you've made, or inheritances, or endings and beginnings in your life. And you're just looking at the totality of it all, right? But getting to the bottom of all of it and really figuring it out, because you guys do have some nice energy going on. We still have Venus in you in your first house, beautiful energy, Libra in your second house. So you have 2 consecutive Venus energies in your house of self, and then in your house of priorities, habits, your money, your income, your daily routines. This is beautiful supporting energy as you work through all of these other challenges. North Node in Gemini in your 10th house, beautiful little gifts being popped in for your career, nice energy there. South Node in that 4th house. So something is going to be needs to be released when it comes to home, roots, family, the way you take care of yourself. Something needs to be released in your emotional body, having to do with what it is that you feel like you need. There's this release of something that has to do with how you parent. But there's got to be this release. But I feel like the way your whole wheel, right, just the archetype of Virgo is going to be working right now, whatever's uncomfortable is very necessary, and it might be uncomfortable, keeping it real, probably until like the first week of August. Then it gets so much better. And it gets so much better because then Mars pops into Virgo, into your energy in your first house with Venus. Such nice energy. So I feel like you guys are on tap for really beautiful stuff starting to happen with mid-August. So whatever tension you're going to be dealing with now, is the end point is to heal you, no matter how uncomfortable it might be to look at certain things right now. You're going to feel probably in a space of feeling kind of defensive. Your morality, your personal philosophy, really important to you right now. You may be dealing with obstacles, but you are going to have the resilience to overcome them. Just make sure, though, you don't give up too easily, right? Because the story verse is clarifying this, and this is about giving up too easily on something, a project. You might be experiencing some sort of creative block, or you might be too attached to the fantasy or the narrative of something while overlooking the details of the situation. Or you might even be sort of pulled into some sort of false sense of security in something that really doesn't have much of a real foundation and real solid chance of success for moving forward in that relationship, that business situation, that family situation, whatever it is. But you might be in this space where you're feeling like you're not getting the support that you need, right? It's like you're feeling these obstacles, you're feeling this challenge. Your morality, your personal philosophy is very important to you right now, but you're not feeling very supported. But you might be, you just want to be mindful of not just giving up too easily on something. You want to make sure of that. Not holding on to any kind of false narrative, though, at the same time. You know, you guys are very critical thinkers, obviously, the critical thinkers of the zodiac. For goodness sake, you're the problem solvers, right? But because, and I'm just saying this, because you do have Mercury, the Sun, and Mars in Leo, but it's in the 12th house, which is ruled by Neptune. And Neptune is very smoke and mirrors. It's trying to navigate things, but you might not have total clarity as you're going through this. Also, you do have Neptune and Pisces in your 7th house of relationships, marriage, contracts, business partnerships. So, and it also, 7th house is also like your interpersonal style when you're dealing with relationship. So there's this lack of clarity there. So you just want to make sure that, you know, you don't give up too soon on something that's positive, but you also don't allow yourself to stay sort of stuck in the illusion of something. All right, because we have the Chariot, which is about moving away from something that is toxic and not working. It's a swift progress and change and having determination to do it. In numerology, the Chariot is associated with the Tower energy, which is about a necessary surrender of something. So there's got to be some sort of necessary surrender, and just because you have so much energy going on under the surface, having to do with pretty much every area of your life, because honestly, like the 6th house, 12th house axis, when we're talking about your mental health, what's going on in your mind, that's going to impact everything in your life, right? Your job, your relationships, whatever it is. So I feel like there's this need to get really honest with yourself, right? To do some really nice work. We have the Queen of Pentacles, just taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, your soul, your finances, taking care of all of it. Really beautiful energy, guys. This really is. For those of this, first of all, this is a marriage card. This could also indicate for those of you who are married or coupled, at least, money coming to you, some sort of good financial management going on. This is also an energy of fertility for those of you in that space. That can resonate as a general influence. But this is telling me like you, and all of that is beautiful, but this is you taking care of yourself. Lots of focus on you taking care of yourself right now. I really like it, particularly for those of you who might have been struggling with something going on in the health, in your health sector, right? Maybe just dealing with something, just like with this little sussy square to Pluto, endings and beginnings, with that Saturn energy. Some of you may have been dealing with something going on with your I don't even say your fitness, but again, like even your physical health, mental health, emotional health, whatever. Could be any of those things. We have the Ace of Cups in the reverse, which is about being let down and feeling depressed and disappointed. So some of you may be in this space of feeling that, right? Of feeling very let down, very disappointed. We have this being the Hierophant in the reverse, clarifying that, which is about being misled by a morally compromised person, or being surrounded by people who are just, giving you poor advice, who are very, very, very self-interested, right? So if this is the case, it's better really to tap into your own intuition and really just walk your own path. And a lot of you might be in that space where maybe you feel like you were misled by somebody in a relationship, by somebody in having to do with some sort of work opportunity, and you're just like, all right, well, that wasn't what I thought, But you're in the space where you really just want to focus on your happiness and your family and being happy and whatever it is, though, guys, whatever it is, whatever you're focusing on, that family situation, that partnership, that job, that contract, whatever it is, finally coming together. And then we have that being clarified by Ace of Swords. This is great. If this has to do with a relationship, this is getting over past obstacles, getting what you want, right? A really thoughts becoming things kind of energy. But it's just auspicious for all areas of your life. New beginnings, having to do with anything requiring a decision. This is clear thinking in love, clear thinking in family situation, any other area of life. But what's going to happen here, there's a change of circumstances for the better. And this is you being very mentally agile and being very assertive is the way to go. Not aggressive, assertive. Make sure you exercise the difference between those two, right? But it does seem like focusing on what matters, focusing on what counts, recognizing what hasn't worked. And recognizing where you may have even gone off the wrong path for a while, because that might be part of your the shadow work that you're doing, part of the healing therapy. And congratulations, honestly, because we've all been there at one point or another, right? I mean, that's great to get to the point where we're able to see that stuff. That's when we're always going to be leveling up emotionally in that space, right? Where we recognize our own icky stuff that we haven't really wanted to look at. Now, we have the Three of Wands in the reverse, which is about a delay. Not a big deal. It's a minor arcana. Whenever we have wands reverse, it just means delay, some sort of setback. There's some sort of setback going on here with the Four of Wands in the reverse as well. So the Four of Wands, this is about leaving home. So there might be some sort of delay in being able to move out, a delay in being able to move. There could be some sort of delay in something because of an argument that somebody's dealing with. There could have been some sort of argument and somebody moved out, argument, somebody left a job, something like that. So there's some sort of delay could certainly have to do with the job situation, something that you're looking to attain in work. But it's like, okay, we've had this little setback, and the setback could have been an argument. The setback could have been, all right, I'm not going to get to where I want to go right now. I'm going to get there. It's just going to be a little delay because I needed to leave that situation, or that situation decided to release me, right? Whatever the situation is. We have the Hermit energy. So the Hermit could indicate some of you, if you're in a space where it has to do with relationship, where if you're alone, it's because whatever you were in up to this point has not been meant for you, right? And it's time to really work on yourself and think about your past experiences so mistakes aren't repeated in the future. And for those of you in a relationship, then it's time to invest more energy and work to smooth something over, because some sort of issue needs addressing and you have to put more focus on it. If this is to do with career or money, it's time to step back. Same idea though, step back. It's a step back energy, right? This is you, by the way. You guys are the Hermit. Step back and figure out what's not working. You know, having to do with whatever situation it is. Because you might feel like it's time to try a different approach, a different path, something like that. You know, some of you may likely meet some sort of mentor. You might have a mentor already or meet a mentor, which could just mean somebody who's just going to be very helpful to you. That could range from a lawyer, if a lawyer is necessary, a therapist, if a therapist is necessary, somebody who's more seasoned than you in the industry that you're involved in, it could be that, you know, whatever it is. Or it could even just be a good friend or a family member who's just really very there for you, who's helping to open your eyes, who's helping to ease something for you. Right? Because remember, the Hermit is you, and you guys are all about solving problems. That's what you guys are about. And then we have the beautiful Ace of Swords. Excellent energy for all areas of your life here. All areas of your life. So there is this. And why do I feel like I read the Ace of Swords instead of the King of Swords here? Isn't that interesting? Why did my eyes do that? I feel like I did that. Well, no matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter. The King of Swords really is just about focusing on your mind, right, rather than your heart, and taking charge of your circumstances. I mean, it's kind of like 6 one, half dozen the other, but it does look like something very auspicious is going to be happening here. But that's just very interesting. Why did I feel called to do that and flip those? I have no clue. But anyway, so it does look like that there's some sort of issue being addressed here with somebody who was either listening to the wrong people, you know, some sort of disappointment is being navigated, and you're in the space of figuring out, okay, so what's my next move? But I do see it going well. Like there's this figuring something out, having to do with that relationship, that work situation, whatever it is. There is a figuring it out. Figuring it out. Let's go into a Celtic cross spread. See what other energies. Isn't that the strangest thing? Why is my back so hot? Virgo, what's going on? My back is hot. I'm a Taurus moon. I get my messages in my body. All right, let's see what comes out. I don't know. Okay, strength energy crossed by the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. Virgo, you know, just so much beautiful healing here for you. Yeah. Let's look at you now. So we have the strength energy, which is Leo. It's about interesting that Leo is in your 12th house. It's a lot of working on yourself stuff here. I don't want to be repetitive with it, but strength energy, if this has to do with a relationship, if you feel like your relationship's been tested, things are going to get better here only if you can find the balance that's necessary. It's got to be some sort of balance here. You can't do it by yourself. We all know that, right? You just want to make sure that the physical attraction, if it has to do with a relationship, doesn't serve to like mask the deeper issues that need to be addressed. You know what I'm talking about? You don't want to let be like, oh, the hell with it. We don't have to talk about that today, right? Somebody might need their ego stroked here, and that might be all that's necessary. Like a good open conversation. Somebody may be feeling very vulnerable about something. So this may require a very solid conversation. You might also be dealing with tensions at work, and especially, you know, look, you do have Saturn in there, right? There might be some tensions at work, but they can be resolved through empathy. Someone with a strong opinion might need help chilling out their ego so that their mind can open up, and you might need to play mediator in the situation, which Virgos often find themselves doing anyway in the work environment. You know, you guys are all about problem solvers and to be of service, and a lot of of times you end up needing to wear that hat, whether you like it or not, right? So we have the Eight of Pentacles. So this is really good because this is focusing on responsibilities in a very diligent and hardworking way. You guys are really good about that, right? This is money or connection being on its way to you as a result of previous effort that you're putting in. But this is challenging you here. This is challenging you. So what this is telling me is that the balance that's required here, you're going to have a little bit of a hard time doing that. Putting in the energy into that space. And you have to look at why. Because if you're trying to fit a circle in a square, that's something maybe that you have to call out. That might be what you're dealing with right now. Because we do have the Judgment coming into this energy. You know, and in numerology, this is the High Priestess, your intuition and justice about fairness, right? And this is assessment, letting go of the past, making a decision about the past, and spiritually waking up. And you are going to be. I mean, that is your focus right now. Whatever house the sun transits, that's the focus for that month. So with the sun in your 12th house, with Mars and Mercury, there's fire, there's mental air in there, but there's a lot of fire in that water energy. So there's a lot going on in there, right? There's a lot going on. But your mind is going to sort of rule over it. Because what happens when you put fire in water? Obviously, they don't mix, right? Water will try to put the fire out. But sometimes, you know, the embers can sort of float on the surface, right? And still burn. Mercury is going to come in here and sort of fan the flames to keep the passion so that there's motivation there to do the work that's necessary. So we have, again, this Judgment energy, though. So if this has to do with a relationship, this is assessing the situation in the relationship and shifting it into a new phase. So for some of you, there might be this very strong desire to reconcile with a relationship or reconcile something that's going on within the relationship, right? Where if you haven't been, you haven't had a meeting of the minds regarding something that's going on for the two of you. There's got to be that going on. If you feel like the relationship is worth it, if you feel like it's worth it, right? For others of you, if this has to do with career or money, this could be you getting the acknowledgement for your success finally coming in or finally came in, finances finally improving. Some of you may have been even in the space of making a decision about a property, right? But it's this letting go of what was and making a decision about what was to redefine the future and saying to yourself very deliberately, I did and they did, everybody you were dealing with did the best they knew how with what they were given, right? We can only work with the tools that we have in our toolbox. So this is forgiving family, forgiving past relationships, forgiving yourself. Above all things. Sometimes we go into and we're like, what do you mean I didn't do anything wrong? It was them, it was that. That might be 100%. But you had yourself in the situation. And sometimes on an energetic level in our subconscious, we get mad at ourselves for that. How? Why did I let that even happen to myself? Why did I allow that to go on? Whatever. I don't mean to be like that, but it kind of is. Whatever. Toothpaste is out of the tube. Past is the past. You can't go back and fix it. So the best thing to do with the Judgment energy, it's a Pluto energy. It's about endings and beginnings. Look at what happened. Forgive whatever can be forgiven. You know, and that's it. And just let it roll and live the rest of your life. And now it's time to try to find balance. You need to find the balance here. But the challenge is going to be in being able to actually bring that forward, because there is this need for logic and this diligent approach, which, yes, you guys are very good at that, but you may be in this very emotional space right now. Be forgiving of yourself if you are. That's okay. That's okay, especially if it has anything to do with like a business contract or a relationship or a marriage or anything like that. You have Neptune and Pisces, and all this stuff is going on in Neptune, which is a heavy water sign, right? That Neptune rules that 12th house, like I mentioned. So we have the Knight of Pentacles is the current situation. Right? And that's being informed by the basis of the situation, the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles, nice energy here for sure. So auspicious energy for every area of life. I would say that happiness and contentment, getting what you want, money coming to you quickly, or you're at least shown how to achieve what it is that you want. This does indicate a foundation of stability. It's very much like a good luck energy for sure. So this could be meeting somebody new. Could be a new job. This could be some sort of windfall coming in, or landing some sort of situation, or being presented with some sort of situation that's going to make you feel more stable and secure. So for a lot of you, this could even just be showing up as like the healing of a past relationship, and then you guys starting this new cycle together. And I do want to say, because it's Pluto is in your 5th, this could have to do with a past romantic relationship. This could have to do with a past anything having to do with your children as well. Very nice energy, right? So that's like the basis of what it is that you want, right? We have the Knight of Pentacles. So let's look at this, because the Knight of Pentacles, this is good. And as a general message, this is about increasing prosperity. For some of you, financial growth and good investment. For some of you, this is increased connection, having to do with the relationship. But whatever it is, whether your money's increasing, whether the energy in your relationship is increasing, it matters, I guess. You might even be having both if you're fortunate enough. But whatever it is that's going to be increasing is only going to happen and be stable and secure for you if you put in hard work. Okay, and that's something that you're going to have to recognize. Now, a point to be noted here, though, you also might be dealing with a situation where that person or that opportunity could be, let's say as a person first, somebody might be very loyal and dependable and have a lot to offer, but you feel this sense of lack in your connection with them. There's this sense of lack. You might not even be able to put your finger on it exactly. Don't be surprised, right? Because of that Neptune energy in your 7th, but you might feel like something, right? They may lack the excitement in some way, the connection in some way, and only you're going to know what that means to capture your heart for the long term in a really satisfying way, depending on where you're at, right? So some of you can be experiencing that as a relationship energy. Others of you might be resonating with it, that same idea, but having to do with a job where it's solid, it's secure, but it's like missing something, and you're wondering if it's something that you could do for the long term and just remain happy at the end of the road. You know what I mean? But you're going to be in this space where you want to invest your time wisely. You're willing to be consistent in your efforts, but you want to know that the energy that you are engaging with is going to be worth it to you in the long run, because you're all about that right now. You really want to say, like, I want better. I want new for me. I want to make more money. I want to be happier in this job. I want to be happier in relationship. I want my family connections to be improved. I want all of that. It's just like, okay, fine, but like, what can be controlled, what can't be controlled? Because if somebody is lacking something as part of who they are, you're going to have to make the decision if you want to continue on that path with them. If that job is what it is and it can't be tweaked in a way to be more satisfying, it may be. You may be able to do that, but you might not be, right? So some sort of decision needs to be made there, it does seem like. But it has a lot of good energy with that Ace of Pentacles. So the Knight of Swords is showing up as the suggested approach. So you need to really, first of all, expect the unexpected is the advice here. And you have to look at and understand that there's going to be some sort of like unpredictable energy happening here. So this could be, for a lot of you, could be kind of like a roller coaster energy, just as a general influence, right? Where it's like, hopes are had, and then maybe something comes in to damper it. It's like this high and low, sudden truths coming out, underlying conflicts being exposed. This can be a relief for some of you, where you're like, oh, thank gosh, I'm so glad we had that conversation finally, or thank goodness that finally came out in the open. Some others of you, you're like, wait a minute, what just happened, right? It could be really confusing, depending on what your situation is. Just make sure that you don't make somebody else I don't remember what other sign got this, but just make sure you don't make any drastic, that's it, I'm done with this. Don't make any big decisions yet until the dust settles, having to do with whatever is going on here. As you might also be dealing with somebody who's like a bit of a drama queen or king, where they're just like very dramatic and they create a lot of like kicking up of nonsense, you know, creating drama, and they don't take any responsibility for it. They don't take responsibility for what they did. They don't take responsibility for trying to fix anything, right? They just kind of leave everybody around them in their wake, kind of thing, right? So like, don't even like, you know, respond to that. Just wait for the dust to settle. But expect the unexpected. Like, it does seem like something is going to be happening here. And we have the external or other energy. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So somebody might be coming back from the past, Virgo. They might want to give another go at this relationship. And this could be, right, because it's this is the position of external or other. And because the wheel has to do with this energy of, you know, somebody wanting to take a chance because they've reached a turning point. This is about fate and change and intuition and destiny being at work here, and somebody being like, oh, hey, you know, somebody coming back from the past, right? Or this could even be somebody bringing in some good news coming in, having to do with career or money, something like that. But integrity needs to be exercised here, right? Because remember, this is a Jupiter energy, and Jupiter is always in a very tight dance with karma. You remember that? But so your block here, though, is the Seven of Wands, which is about standing up for yourself, right? Really being able to, you know, some of you may be in this space, though, where you're still trying to figure it out. You might be changing, right? I just feel like a lot of you may be changing and you're not sure where you're actually going to land. And the reason I'm saying this is sort of threefold, I suppose I want to say, right? I mean, because, you know, when it comes to your interpersonal style, when it comes to all of your relationships, people that you have the soul energy with, you have Neptune there. So there's this lack of clarity, and there's this feeling like, you know, if I stick it out in this, am I going to martyr myself? Do I have to sacrifice myself for this connection? I'm just not sure what I'm feeling, right? So that, and then also we have the Mercury, Mars, and Sun in that 12th house. Again, Neptune energy, where that hangs out. But then also Pluto and Capricorn, that's the energy in the 5th house of your self-expression. So I feel like there's a lot of changing, you know, going on in the ethers and underneath everything for you, as far as kind of like what's going on. So this might be your block, is that you're in this space of, you're feeling challenged, right? And so these obstacles that are coming up are challenges for you, but you're going to be able to deal with it. You're going to be successful in whatever it is that's going on. Trust me, okay? Trust me, and just be very, very patient. Even if things feel very challenging right now, if you feel like you have to fight for that relationship, fight for that family connection, fight for whatever it is, and at the same time you're feeling this need to defend yourself. You might even be in a space where you feel like you need to defend the rights of others, depending on what the situation is going on. But in the near future, we have the Chariot. So Chariot is about swift progress, change, determination, but away from toxicity towards your metaphorical home space. So, you know, if this has to do with career or money, it's just quick changes and progress coming in. You know, whatever it is, something's going to come to fruition. It's going to be good. It's going to be positive for your finances, positive to help you feel more secure in a situation. So that's good. This would also indicate moving away from any sort of toxic practices, toxic anything having to do with relationship, any kind of relationship at all. Like just moving away from the toxicity. Because that's the way it works. See, the story that the cards tell, right? So we have, you guys know the Tower. Those of you who know Tarot understand that the Tower in Tarot means that there's some sort of necessary surrender. Something's going to be coming apart, right? That's a Mars energy. And whatever comes apart in the Tower energy is because it wasn't meant for us. So Mars picks us up from the rubble of the tower that has fallen down, whatever has not worked out in our life. And he puts us on the Chariot and says, come on now, it's time for you to go home, whatever that means. That's why the Chariot is Cancer. Cancer represents home, our strong foundation, our roots, where we're meant to be, what's right for us. So whatever's not meant for you, you're going to be moving away from it and towards what is right for you. And then we have the beautiful, beautiful Queen of Cups energy. In astrology, this is a Gemini and Cancer energy. Gemini is about communication and Cancer is about home. So some of you may be Gemini is about communication, also signing on the dotted line, wrapping up negotiations, doing business as in the day-to-day. So some of you literally might be like, signing that contract on that house that's going to give you stability. Some of you are signing on the bottom line, having to do with that job, that opportunity, or just having a conversation about what you need to feel grounded, rooted, and safe and secure. But this is a very positive energy. It's a very intuitive energy as well. It's also one that exercises high emotional intelligence. This is very nice for relationships where somebody's not afraid of intimacy, not afraid of parenting, facing something head on. And I really like that for those of you who are resonating with that Pluto and Capricorn as it being some sort of adjustment going on with your relationship with your children. Very positive in that way as well. So I see you guys going through something, but I see it ending up in your favor. And I hope like this Celtic cross spread was helpful for you in some way. Let's go into our relationship read. I'm going to do a 7-card ellipse. I'll pull a few cards at the end for those of you in separation. Ace of Wands. Ace of Cups. Woohoo! Okay. Nothing to be mad at here. So we have the Ace of Wands. You might have met a new person in the recent past, or you might have just had a new beginning with somebody, and whatever that could mean to you, right? But this is a new let's put it this way, this is a new chapter energy. So it could be a new chapter in an older relationship, or this could be a whole new chapter of passion, creativity, motivation, beautiful. But this is like a virility energy too. So this could indicate family, somebody getting pregnant, one of the pregnancy cards, lots of fire and passion there for sure. Right, and then we have the beautiful Ace of Cups. Beautiful. I mean, if this is an existing relationship, strong love and support, really beautiful. For others of you, this could be falling in love. For others of you, this is another fertility energy, pregnancy, prioritizing parenting. Right, you being in this space where you're prioritizing what kind of parent you are. It's just such a nice energy for spiritual growth. Very creative energy. Things that you really want coming to fruition, just a very, very nice energy. And in the near future, we have the Eight of Wands. This is such a great minor arcana. This is a Mercury and Sagittarius energy. So this is good news coming in. When we have Mercury, it's like some sort of good news is coming in. And Sagittarius is the landlord of the house of Luxe. So some sort of good news coming in. Lots of busy communication. This is great if you've been feeling held back or stuck, waiting for a decision, having to do with anything that would be connecting to your partnership. So maybe you're finding out that you got the offer accepted on that house or that business, or you're finding out that you're pregnant if that's what you want, or you're finding out, it's like a thumbs up energy, right? For those of you in that space. This is also really great news about love, especially if you've been separated, right? Somebody reaching out and communicating with you. And we do have the Seven of Wands. So this is something that we need to look at. This is the advice energy. And that Mars and Leo energy, I mean, this is looking at your morality, your personal philosophy, what really matters to you. Looking at what really, really matters to you. You're going to be able to overcome whatever it is that you need to overcome. But this is really about drawing a line in the sand and saying, okay, I'm willing to compromise. I'm willing to work with the situation, whatever's going on. But while I can concede here, I can't here, right? It's drawing that line in the sand. I'm willing, but I just can't go past this mark, because then I feel like then I'm compromising my morals, and I'm not okay with that. But I'll do this, right? It's like that kind of thing. And then we have the external to you or others. Somebody's offering you something. I mean, this is just good news coming in about something having to do with any sort of emotional aspect within this relationship. So this could be either meeting somebody new, having somebody come in and offer you something. This could be money coming to you guys, if money's been an issue. This could be, again, finding out that you're pregnant, whatever it is. But it's good news coming in from outside, from external. So you're getting some sort of good news that's going to end up positively impacting relationship for you. When we have the hope and fear, which ends up being a block, right, is the star energy. It's almost like you want change for the better after a difficult time, but you're afraid. You're starting to doubt it. Don't doubt it. Don't doubt it, okay? Because you don't want to put negative vibes out there, right? I mean, you are destined to be with somebody, right? This is very like a soul connection. Don't be afraid of it. We have the final outcome energies, the justice energy. Libra, landlord of the 7th house of marriage, relationships. But it's also equality, right? It's why the glyph is the scales. So really, I mean, this is your emotional needs need to be looked at. Are they being met? Because balance and fairness is going to be really important for you to look at right now. Because remember, this is a Venus energy. And Venus wants us to feel good in whatever it is that we're in. She wants us to feel like things are equitable. She wants us to feel like we're being valued, right? Venus has a lot to do with the value. It's not only money. It's to do with our self-value and our self-worth, right? But this is like truth coming out. And the result of the truth coming out, there's going to be some sort of balance, fairness, some sort of win-win situation had. So, I mean, it looks good for those of you in relationship. Now, let's pull some cards for those of you who are in separation and see if we can get... So I'm going to pull 4 in separation cards and then 4 Island Time Wellness to clarify. Somebody's having second thoughts about something. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll take this. Listen, you were the love of my life. I didn't figure that out before. I now know that it's true. I know now that it's true. We have the clock. Needs time, takes time, in time, time to heal, progress. But the clock ticks forward, not backwards, people. Okay. So we have my spirit is always with you. Can you feel me? Do you still love me too? And that's being clarified by Hand of Cards. Taking a chance, risk, strategic, trying to strategize something. But this needs to take a chance. Kind of like that hangman energy. I'm getting that hangman vibe here, Virgo. I don't know how they feel. Do they feel this way? I don't know. Am I going to make a fool of myself? Am I going to end up having to give up what I believe in? I'm not sure. The thought of you with someone else drives me crazy. And then we have a karmic relationship. Fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. Karmic relationships. Never easy. Always hard. Always. They're meant to be. Karmic relationship. You are their teacher, they are yours. You are their student, they are your student. And that's the way it is, where these lessons need to be learned. Being apart has been more difficult than I can accept. Meeting and conversing, savoring the moment, feeling uplifted. So there's some sort of, it's like almost like a gentle sort of leaning into something to see the value and what's still there. Now, this is only for this week. I don't know really what's going to end. I'm going to be doing an extended read next week for single, coupled, and complicated. This would come under the guise of complicated, obviously, where I'm going to do the extended read. But it does look like for now, somebody's energy is shifting and you might even feel them, energetically. You may feel them very heavy, You know what I mean? Like you just kind of feel their energy around you. They want to talk to you. But it just seems like there's fear here. There's fear, which happens, right? All right, my friends, you might be a little confused about what all this means because you have Neptune in the 7th. So be kind to yourself and just understand the building blocks of the energies that are going on right now. And it's going to lighten up come the middle of August. I promise you that. Okay, you guys have an awesome week. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.